Okay, in this video, I want to show off the new container updates that are coming out. And let me start out by showing the way containers worked in prior to this update. So I'm just going to bring up a case that I've got in the system that happens to have a couple of items in it. And these items right now are stored in, I don't even know the location they're stored in. One's stored in root, one's stored in AM1. But the way that you would containerize items in the old system, in fact, the only way you could containerize items in the, I say the old system, but prior to this update, is to go to the select the items, go to the menu, and then say, I want to add these to the container. So the real problem that this created is that as an officer is entering items and going along, they're putting them in a temp locker, and then they're going to containerize them when they're all done instead of doing it as they're going along. Well, I think this update is going to help significantly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that case, and I'm going to go in and add a new item at this point. And I'm going to say this item is, we'll just go with drugs for this case. And I'm going to go down, I'm going to fill in whatever fields have to be filled in here. So we're going to go that it's this person here. I have to put in a custody reason. Nothing else is required on here, which is great. And we've got this whole new section now, and I say a whole new section. It's still the storage location section. You'll notice it's in blue, so it sort of makes it stand out as that's what we're focused on. And now the user can answer the question, do you want to put this item in a container or not? Now, if the item doesn't go in a container, we would just normally go in and pick whatever, storage location I'm putting these into. Probably a temp location is what I would normally pick. But here's where this gets really nice. What if this item is going to go into a container? So now I select yes, and it's going to ask me, because my system here is set up to auto-assign container numbers. So since this is the first item in the case, I'm going to say, yep, it is a container. Yep, I'm going to go with the auto-assign numbers. The user could pick where this thing is going to be stored at. And so, this is where, they normally might go in and go ahead and pick their temp locker at this point. And so in my case, I'm going to go with this one right here. We'll pretend like that's my temp locker. So I'm done. I have filled in all the information. And so now let's just say I have another item that's going to go into here. So I'm going to say, I want to add a new item. So let's save. Now, importantly, I selected here, the next item is going to use this container number. Okay, and that's really important here. So I'm going to hit save, and we're going to add a new item, and we'll just say this is also drugs. And so now we come in here, and I still have to fill out all of the main fields. So I'm going to say this is Townsend, and this is this. And so now when you get down here, because the previous item I said, yes, it's going to go into a container, it automatically defaults to, yes, it is a container. And by the way, there is the container number. Now, if the user wanted, they could go in and say, hey, I actually don't want to use the same container number here. They could be like, hey, I want to pick a new container number. And so I could undo this, and I think here, if I turn off container, now I'm going to be where I'm back to creating a new container. So I could say, oh, you know what, hold on. I do want to put it in that previous container that I just built in the last step, or flip it off, flip it back on, and now I'm creating a new container, and I can still pick the question, what's going to happen to the next item as it's going in. So in the end, now, as I'm going through and doing this, I'm going to go ahead and put this item in a new container, and we're going to hit save and view the item. Now, as part of the item entry process, let's go back and look at the case. Now, through the item entry process, I've got items that are going into containers. Here are the containers right down here at the bottom. I don't have to wait and do it when it's done. And so now, this should make the process of entering data and getting them into containers far more simple than what it has been. That's it. Thank you.